Okay, I welcome all the participants. And Mr. Mujib Sahab, it's nice to meet you again at this platform after a long time. So, before discussing anything related to online uh, teaching and learning resources, I would like to ask from the participants uh, that is there any participant who is not familiar with Google Classroom, or he has not used any kind of activities on Google Classroom? Or my question is there any particular area that you need to cover, because we already have covered and conducted these sessions a few months ago, and so I need your feedback first so that it will be easy for me to highlight those particular areas in a better way. You can unmute yourself, please.
Assalamualaikum.
Thanks, Law.
My question is it possible to conduct a test or any paper for 30 minutes Zoom meeting where all the participants could attempt that test and we get that result,
Okay,
where they could show their video also, and we make sure that they are not, helping, taking help from any other, or they are not,
okay,
give them
okay. So nice. Your question
Zoom.
is there any way to assess the students for 30 minutes or more or less, so that the students cannot take help up from anyone? So before answering your question, because yes, there is a possibility, and we have already discussed this thing, and again I will share in detail. But before answering this question, I would like to ask you that all of you are familiar with Classroom, the basics that I mean to say, can you create your account and the basics, how to include the students as well?
Yes, sir. We are familiar.
Okay, well,
Imran sir,
yes, sir.
we have been conducting two sessions earlier from Mr. Mudassar Latif, and he has just told them about the introduction of Google Classroom.
Okay,
So
now.
all the process,
Uh-huh.
initial process, we have learned. Now this is time to go for the particular like timed assessment or test or like that,
Okay,
or
that,
some other area.
okay. So that was important for me to know the previous knowledge of the participants. So now let me start the session. So I will go through this slide a little quick, because this slide is for the basic introductory approach. So I will share few important things, then I will move to assessment area. So the ways to assess the Google Classroom and Zoom Cloud Meeting is, for Zoom Cloud Meeting, we have the Android application as well as Windows software as well as internet browser. If you wish to use Zoom Cloud Meeting on Android, we have application. If you want to use on Windows and laptops, we have the software. But if you wish to schedule and join any meeting from internet browser, then we have zoom.us website. Secondly, Google Classroom, we have the Android application, but for the Windows or laptops, desktop and laptops, we have only the website, internet browser website. With the help of that, we can assess, utilize, and make many activities. We can connect with the students on Google Classroom. We don't have any software. Uh, what Google Classroom is doing, it's a free web service. It's simply, we can distribute many things with the student, and we can assess the student, we can grade them without any paperwork. The primary purpose is streamline the process of sharing files between teachers and students. It's a connection between student and teachers on online platform. Share. So the main question for today's session was, how can we assess the students on Google Classroom? So while on the Google Classroom, the basic main page from website, from browser, uh, I have opened class metric B, and we have four options here: stream, classwork, people, and marks. So while on the tab of classwork, we need to create assignment, quiz assignment, question, material and post. So we will create quiz assignment. This is the MCQ or any kind of test. So click quiz assignment. Then we have this page. So you can write the title of the test, quiz 1. You can write any subject, math like you teach. Then you can write any kind of instructions here, and you need to click on blank quiz. So when you click on the blank quiz, we have this question paper. So you can write the title here, math test 1, and when you write the title here and then directly click on blank quiz, the same you can copy paste as well here. So here you can write any kind of description, like any instruction you can write as well. And when you click here, this is the area where you write your questions. So I'm writing the question number 1. Let's suppose I'm writing a general manual question, name of country, or I may write smallest particle of matter is called like this. So now we have here options, whether I want to assess this question in multiple choice question, right, like short answer, paragraph, checkbox, drawn box. We have many options. So let's select short answer. So if you select short answer, then a student need to write in statement form in wording. But if you select multiple choice question, then we have 4 options here. Any number of options you can put, like atom. Then click on the add option. You can add any, let's suppose element or any option. Let's suppose we have 4 options here. Then what you need to do is click this required button. Then what happens, a student must need to attempt this question. If this button is off, then a student may skip this question and the test will be submitted. But we must check this button on. And after that, we have some options here, description and shuffle option order. If MCQs, you can shuffle the option order. Then the 10 MCQs will be in different sequence appeared at the screen of the students. So it's not necessary, but if you wish, you can do. So our first MCQ is ready. Now what you need to do, click this answer key. So when you click the answer key, here we have few options. Number of marks to be assigned on this MCQ. Let's suppose I assign only 1 mark. Then we have add answer feedback here. So if you click this one, I think they have updated this. This is feedback. Okay, we may add some feedback like why this is incorrect answer or what is the correct answer. But you need to select the key. You need to click any one option which is the correct one. Now you click done. Now let's see how this MCQ will appear on the screen of the student. So what we need to do is click on the preview on this, just like eye icon. So when you click this eye icon, this is the interface that will appear on the screen of the student. The question is smallest particle of the matter is called. If I select element, I will submit, it will be wrong. But if I select atom, the system will automatically mark the MCQ and assign the mark. So when they submit, now the students can view their score as well as right after submitting their paper. So let's click on view score. It says 1 out of 1 mark and the correct answer is already selected, like atom. If the student select the second option, it will be 0 out of 1 and it will also show the correct what was the correct answer. Okay, let's go back to the test. question. So this is the question paper. Now, if you wish to add any other MCQ, you need to click this add question button. Before that, you need to number 1 as well. So I'm adding another question. Question number 2, equation with highest power 1 is called. Now I'm changing the way of asking the question in drop down. Okay, so what happens here, I need to add some options: linear, then quadratic, cubic, or let's suppose any exponential. We have added 4 options. Now we need to add answer key, and answer key is linear. So we select the linear and click on the done. Marks are already selected 1 point on each MCQ. Again, we have to select the required button, and let's see how this question will appear on the screen of the student. So click on the preview. You must check the paper while creating every MCQ in order to avoid any mistakes. So this is the second MCQ. Equation with the highest power is called. Now student will click on this button and 4 options will appear here. So he will select, of course, linear, and he will submit. Now I'm selecting the wrong answer, quadratic. Let's see what happens. Submit. No, this MCQ is not attempted because I have again opened this test. So I must need to attempt this MCQ. Let's suppose I selected atom. Now I'm submitting this paper. Now let's view the score. So the score is, first MCQ is correct and second is incorrect. So my marks are 1 out of 2. So in this way, whatever number of MCQs you are including in the paper, all will be appear on the screen of the student, and they will attempt. They can see their marks right after submitting the paper. So let's go back to the previous page. Now, when students submitted their paper, there is another option, submit another response, and we don't need this option to be appeared here. So what we need to do, we go back to the question paper, and here we have some more options on the top, right top. We will select setting. Let's suppose you have completed all the questions, whether they are short answer questions, long answer questions, or MCQ or drop down, whatever you wish to include in the paper. After that, you need to select this setting button. Then we have many options here. First option is collect email address. We don't need to collect the email addresses. Required sign in. If we select this limit to 1 response, then this option, I mean to say submit another response, will not appear. So keep in mind, please, you must select limit to 1 response. The student will be able to attempt that paper only once. Then we have respondents can edit after submit. No, they cannot edit after submit. Once they submitted, that's final. They can, yes, they can see the summary charts and text responses, whatever they have attempted. They can see the summary of their paper. Yes, you can select it. Then next tab is presentation. You can allow them to show the progress bar. It's okay. Shuffle question order, it's up to you. If you wish them to avoid any kind of mishap like that, you can shuffle the question order. Then sometimes it happens that student number 1 on his screen, question number 1 that you have prepared will be appeared as question number 1, while on the screen of second student, question number 1 will appear as question number 3. So shuffling is also okay, but the marks will be assigned according to your key. show link to submit another response. This is already unchecked. If sometime we create any survey form and we need the participant to submit more responses, then we can click this button. Okay, after that we have this third option, quiz. We must click this make a quiz button. If this is not selected, then I think marks will not be included in the MCQ. They will only attempt and there will be end. So we must select this, make this a quiz. Then we have immediately after each submission, they can see their marks. Okay, they can see in the marks. You must check this button on. Respondents can see missed question. Yes, you can take this correct answer, point values they can also see. So you must check all the options on. Then you need to save this all settings. So keep in mind, the most important thing is limit to one response, and they should not edit after some submit. This is not important. Then you must check this button on, make this a quiz. That's very important. Then you need to save this setting. Okay, so now how you can share this quiz with the students, let's talk about this. So after preparing the paper and making all the settings, you need to click on send button. So while clicking on the send button, we have this window, and if you want to write any email address, this question will be sent to that particular email address, or any number of email address you want to write, it's up to you. But that is not easy way. What you need to do is click on this middle button, link. Now here is a link of this quiz assignment. We need to click on shorten URL. The link is shortened. Now you need to copy. After clicking the copy button, you can close this button and window, and you can close even this quiz, because every second this data is saved on the Google Drive of your computer on the internet. So you may close this quiz as well. So now you can share that copied link to your group, WhatsApp group of the student, or you can share on the Google Classroom as well as. So let's suppose you pasted somewhere where on the platform of the student and you sent to them. Then how you will check that how many students have attempted that quiz? So let's talk about this. On this form, let's suppose I closed this quiz paper, and okay, the one way was that we copied that link and we shared with the student. And second option, after closing that quiz window, we again come back to this window. Now here we have many options, like this test to be shared with class metric B or enter any class you wish to share. It should be selected, sent to all the students or selected student. We need to select send all the students. Okay, the number of points according to number of MCQs you entered. Let's suppose 10 MCQs I have prepared, you can write 10 marks. When that test should be appeared on the screen of the student, we have sent the link, but what happens every time they open the link, it's not necessary that anytime they can open the link. We will restrict this link to be opened, to be accessed by the students. So okay, we will talk later on this option. We need to install some more options here. Due date, when they will submit, this is for that. Okay, now let's schedule. So if you click on this button, let me open again. We have if you assign, it will be assigned right now. They can access this link right now. But if you schedule this form to be opened by the student, then you need to click on the date. At what date? Suppose I wish my student to open this quiz on Friday 27th of November. I want them to attempt this quiz at 10 a.m. Then you need to click on schedule. So click on the stream, and the test information is shared automatically with the students. They can open their Google Classroom main page stream. It will appear here on the screen of the students' computers. They can attempt right according to the date we have scheduled. So I think we should conclude this session for today, and we will talk further in details tomorrow. Now, if you have any question regarding today's session, you may ask, or if anything is not clear, you may share with me so that we can again do few of the areas in next session. Yes, please. And we will also share this recording with you all till maybe tonight. I will share the link of the video of my YouTube channel. So where we already have shared all these previous videos with this participants as well. I think I have allowed all the participants. Mute all. Ask all to unmute. Yes, you can talk now.
Sir, is there any way to assist the students using Zoom app? Because we want to monitor the students in Google Classroom, we cannot monitor who is attempting the test. So, is there any way available in Zoom application to assist the students?
I request you to elaborate some more detail of your question, please.
So, is there any way to assist the students using Zoom app? Like, can we conduct a test in Zoom application?
Sir, I don't think so. There is any option because using Zoom, we can only conduct some meetings. Uh, while the Google Classroom has some more tools to assess, to assign something like that. So Zoom is, I think, only for some video, face-to-face conversation only. There's no option, sir. Sorry.
Sir, I have another question. Is that sir, I have another question. Whenever we write in Google Classroom mathematical equations,
Yes.
so we some like MATLAB language, right? So it's hard for these 9th, 8th class students to understand these MATLAB language. So can we write in a formal way, which is using subscript and all these stuff which are formal in mathematics? So how can we do these?
Yes, the question is how can we write MCQs of mathematics or any subject which includes mathematical symbols like that? So the answer is we I personally have tried to resolve this issue, but there are many applications available on Google Drive's Google Store, which enables any writer to create mathematical questions, but sometimes it happens these applications are not suitable for any particular software, I mean to say hardware of computer or desktop. Yes, there are many applications using these applications. Small applications are called ads on, ADDS on. These small applications uh, appear on Google Form or Quiz. Using these applications, you can include any symbols, equations, and many more. But the issue is that uh, I need to work more on these that area. Sometime the problem I faced was that were not, my computer was not supporting, or sometimes these applications which are easy to use are not available on that store. So I have noted this issue, and surely I will work on this, and inshallah next session we will talk about this issue. Any other question, please, so that we can talk on in the next session. Yes.
Sir, I have another idea that sir, may I ask?
Yes. Yes.
Sir, I have another idea. If we allow the student to show their screen in the Zoom meeting, and we allow them only 30 minutes to attempt their quiz in the Google Classroom, so I think it would be easy to judge them whether they are attempting by themselves or not. So they will be using both applications together. They will be using Zoom to show themselves they are attempting the test by themselves, and they will be attempting those tests in the Google Classroom. So what do you think about this?
मैं इसका उर्दू में जवाब देना चाहूँगा कि देखें, बजाय इसकी कि हम उनको बाउंड करें कि आप मैं ये बात क्लियरली कहना चाहूँगा कि बेटा चीटिंग मत करना, ये कुछ अजीब सा लग रहा है। हम जितनी भी कोशिश कर लें, अगर जिसको चीटिंग करनी होगी वो करेगा। हम जूम पर ये चीज़ आइडिया इम्प्लीमेंट भी कर लें, वी डोंट नो कि साथ में कोई बुक अवेलेबल है या नहीं है, हम नहीं रोक सकते। व्हाट वी कैन डू, we can motivate them, we can change the minds of our youth, our students. Other than this we cannot do, we can't do anything. एक और ऑप्शन है, ये जो हमारे पास एक तो डेस्कटॉप कंप्यूटर्स हैं, एक लैपटॉप कंप्यूटर्स हैं। लैपटॉप में फिर दो वर्जन हैं, प्लेटफॉर्म होते हैं, एक विंडोज है, एक मैक, मैक के कंप्यूटर्स हैं, ये एक अलग प्लेटफॉर्म है। मैक के कंप्यूटर्स में, मैक के प्लेटफॉर्म पर ये ऑप्शन अवेलेबल है कि जब आपने वो क्विज ओपन किया अपने स्क्रीन पर, तो अब आप कोई और स्क्रीन ओपन नहीं कर सकते अपने कंप्यूटर पर, लेकिन बुक्स तो अवेलेबल हैं, मैं साथ में बुक को रख के कुछ भी देख सकता हूँ। So what we can do, we should change the minds of the students so that they should be sincere with ourselves, with themselves, with the institute and with our community. कि आपको भाई बेटा टेस्ट दी गई है, अब उनका माइंड ये बनाना है कि आपने फ्यूचर में अपने लिए कुछ करना है, तो आप बस ये टेस्ट पर ही फोकस रखना है। हम जितनी भी लिमिटेशंस लगाना चाहें, we cannot be successful 100%. I think this may be the solution. Doctor sir, what would you like to suggest?
Yes, thank you, sir. You have rightly suggested. Actually, day before yesterday, I was also suggesting the same thing, which was the first session of the second COVID wave for online learning. So actually, there's a difference between offline learning and online learning, and this is the difference that we have to win the confidence of the students. We have to motivate them. So this is the first and foremost thing which we need to do, because everyone has different environment at their home, and we cannot control the whole environment. And again, like if we, as suggested by our faculty member or colleague, that we need to monitor. Can we monitor with Zoom, and a student will be needing 2 devices at least if they want to attempt from cell phone. So from one device he will be using the Zoom session or attending the Zoom session, and he need an additional device. So we do not have to create hurdles. Instead, we need to support them to achieve higher education. So our role at the same time, being the tutor, being the facilitator, our role also include to be a motivator, so they can get motivation and they can get good quality education. So that's from my side.
Okay, I would like to add one thing. I will share my previous experience. कि जो लास्ट इसमें कोविड की सिचुएशन में हमने जो ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म यूज किए थे उसमें few students who has set their target, they attempted individually. तो ऐसे स्टूडेंट हमारे पास हैं जो जिनके माइंड में और कुछ नहीं होता, अब उसको थोड़ा सा मोटिवेट ही करना है. आई रेस्पेक्ट द आइडिया दैट यू गिव द पार्टिसिपेंट, बट दिस इज अ थिंग कि काफी स्टूडेंट हैं जो टेस्ट उनके सामने आ रही है तो वो खुद अटेम्प्ट कर लेते हैं. 10% 20% ऐसे हैं जो कि डाइवर्ट हो जाते हैं, लेकिन 80% अकॉर्डिंग टू अवर एक्सपीरियंस स्टूडेंट्स ने खुद अटेम्प्ट की. बिकॉज उन जब हमने सिर्फ गूगल क्लासरूम पर क्लासेस उनको आइडियाज शेयर किए, मतलब क्लासेस कंडक्ट की, या जूम पर उनको लेक्चर्स दिए, तो वो कुछ बोरिंग सा फील उन्होंने किया. लेकिन जब हमने आइडिया दिया कि भाई आप उनको असेस करें, अभी एमसीक्यूज टेस्ट उनको शेयर करें, तो फिर हमने उनका फीडबैक भी लिया. तो उन्होंने कहा कि था दिस इज द बेटर वे to run online classes. What we have learned previously, that is okay. Now we need some difference. We need some change, and that change was this MCQ. आपने जितने 50 MCQs बना लिए उनके स्क्रीन पर आ रहा है. They attempted with a lot of interest. तो 20% है जो कि डाइवर्ट है, लेकिन 80% उनको भी चाहिए कि हमें जो कंप्यूटर और ऑनलाइन लर्निंग में कुछ चेंज नजर आए, और वो चेंज यही है जो आज हमने थोड़ा सा डिस्कस किया विद लॉट ऑफ डिस्टर्बेंस. Inshallah, next time we will solve those issues. So I think they will take a lot of interest. Ji. Dr. Sab. Let me unmute every time. Ji. If there is no question, Ji. Is there any question, or I think we should wind up this session?
No, sir, no question.
Okay.
Okay, Imran sir, we can wind up, and for all audience who are new to this online session series, we have a separate e-learning page, Facebook page for e-learning IBA community colleges and schools. I have already shared the link of that Facebook page. So our all previous sessions are present there, and we will be uploading this session also on that page. So feel free to follow that page, and in case of any query, these sessions are also available there. So you can see and follow the page, and if you have any query, you can write there also.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, all of you. Allah Hafiz.